Good day, guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be teaching you how to make this beautiful pocket on your screen. It's a sapphire pocket. So first and foremost, we measure out the color gum, which is 6.5 by 7 inches. So right now, to create the pattern, what I'll be doing is I place the two sides of the gummy part of the color gum. That's the two sides that have gum on the color gum. I place them together and gum it. Then afterwards, I trace out the same shape of the pockets. So now note, this particular pattern I'm using is what you can use to create any pocket pattern of your choice. Any pocket pattern that you have that you want to create and you don't have a sample for it, you can just draw it out and then carve it out like this. Then use your thick color gum, cut the first part and then gum the second part on it, opposite. So now you have the two gums facing each other and then you have your pattern. I hope it's clear. So right now I go ahead to make a center line so that I will know where the center of this pattern is. So guys, afterwards, the next thing is to get my material and make sure there is allowance on each side of the material. Then I place my hairstay on it and then gum it. After gumming the hairstay, then I'll be using the pattern I earlier created to now dress out the pocket shape. I hope you're following me. If you're not following, you can go ahead to go backward and watch again, or you can ask any question. Anyway you're confused, you can ask me a question. So this is just it on how to get any color, any pocket pattern you want to make, any pattern at all. So watch carefully how I'll be working on the circular part of the pocket, because that's a very important part of the dressing. If you don't get it well, you won't get the curve well. So at this point, I have to drag the material to get the circle. Drag the material very well to get the circle shape. So guys, if you've not subscribed to this channel, I would like you to do that. Be a part of this family. So take your time, don't be in a hurry when you are making this part. So as you can see, I've done that. So I go ahead to cut out some of the excesses. And after that has been done, we go to the next step. So right now I have to close the upper part of the pocket with my hemming gum, because I don't want to sew it. So I just go ahead, put a hemming gum there and iron it. This way it will remain like that. So after this has been done, I'll go ahead to mark out my pockets. I like it to be at 1.8 inches, then 1.3 from each side of the pocket. Anywhere you want to put your pocket, you can just mark it out by yourself. So this is how I want mine to be. This is the pocket material I'll be using for the pocket. So I've dressed the pocket by putting a light gum on the fabric. So So right now I'll be going to the machine to sew it this way. So here we are. So we'll make sure it starts from this point to this other point. So you reinforce first before you start your sewing. Whenever you are sewing a pocket, make sure you reinforce very well. Also reinforce at the end. So after that, I'm done with the first part of the pockets. So now I'll sew the second pocket cover. So now make sure it starts at the same point and ends at the same point with the first one. That is very, very important when you are making any pocket. So you reinforce very well, as I told you earlier. So now we'll go ahead to ensure that they are equal, and then we cut. Just make a notch at the center, and then from that notch we cut to the edge, and then make a triangle or a V cut at this point. When you're making this V cut, this is a very, very sensitive place. You have to be very, very careful not to surpass the sewing, because once you've passed the sewing, the pockets will be condemned. So this is just how you do it. Stop exactly at the sewing. You cut the second one too. Stop at the sewing exact. So after that, we'll go ahead to the pressing table to iron it out. So right now I turn it this way to get the folding line, because you know it's a double pocket. So now after I've marked that line, I go ahead to iron it with my iron. So guys, if you have any questions about this pockets, about my pattern, about anything at all about the video, you can ask it in the comment section, or you can join our WhatsApp group chat to ask your question. I'll be there to reply you immediately. So also I do the same thing I did in the first place to the second pocket. So after I've marked it, I arrange it this way and then give it a press. So as you can see now that the two pockets mouths have been created. So right now I place my pressing rag on the cloth and iron it out. If you're a follower of this channel, you should know that I don't advise you to iron anything directly on the fabric, because I don't like having stains or shines on my work. So right now we'll go to the machine and then we sew straight on that on the line we created, on the fold we created. Just top stitch on it to hold it. You do the same thing to the second side. Just top stitch on the fold you've created. So after that, we'll go ahead to sew the edges, which is these triangles. Now sewing these triangles are very, very technical. You have to be very careful when sewing them to avoid problem. So you stitch on the triangles this way. When stitching on them, make sure you cover any gap that will be in the center of the pockets. So this is it. I've ironed the pocket out, and this is how it looks like. So right now I'm making a loop for the button covers. So this is a loop. You just get a pieces, sew it about 0.4 That's almost half inch, but not up to half inch. Then I'll go ahead to iron it. Open it out, open the allowance this way. Iron it before I turn it inwards. So after the ironing, I went ahead to turn it, and then I'm pressing the final press on it, which after this I'll create the triangle or the V pattern for it, and then give it a press. So guys, as you can see, it's very simple. So now the tip of the V, we are going to make a little stitch there, and then this is how it's going to be. Right now we'll measure the center of this entire pocket, and then we'll mark it out. That's where our triangle will be, our button loop. So now we'll just top stitch on this at the top part. After top stitching, you cut off the allowance, then turn it inwards this way and make another sewing on it, make another stitching on it to hold it permanently, because that first one we made was a temporary stitch that will be loosed out. So guys, we are almost at the end of this tutorial. I would like you to like this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe if you've not done so. So now we are closing the pocket. It's going to be a fake pocket actually, because there will be no need for having two entrances to one pocket. So here we'll just close it up and then trim off the excess. So this is it. We have gotten to the end of this tutorial. We're going to fix our button, and this is how it looks like. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. See you in the next video.